What's happening? In this video I'm going to talk about the most optimal training split you can do as a beginner. I'm going to use an evidence-based approach, but I'm also going to give some of my own personal opinions so I'm able to discuss some of the things that I think the studies potentially overlook, for example, enjoyment and sustainability. So I think it's going to be a good video. I think that if you're a beginner or someone who's just recently started the gym, watching this video is going to help you a lot, because I know if I had to watch the video like this when I was first starting off, I would have been it would have saved me a lot of hassle basically. So I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, you know the crack already. Let's jump into it. Firstly, I want to discuss the way I trained when I first started the gym. So 16 years old, bouncing into the gym, just doing sort of what everyone else is doing. One day you train arms, one day chest, one day shoulders, maybe the odd time you'd do back, and then on leg day you were probably sick or something, so you just never done that. And it's safe to say that this was not an optimal approach to training at all. But did I get results from training like this? Of course I did, but that's the thing. Anyone that starts the gym new, if you could go in and just look at a dumbbell dead in the eyes and you would gain muscle. It's called newbie gains, and that's why so many people have a skewed opinion. A skewed opinion? That's a word, isn't it? Skewed. So many people have a skewed opinion on their methods and thinking that they work, when realistically anything works if you're new to the gym, but not everything is optimal. So that's what this video is for, to show you what is optimal. So before I tell you specifically what split you should be doing if you're a beginner, I want to talk about the bro split, which in my opinion is one that you definitely shouldn't be doing, but for some reason is just completely overpopularized, especially for beginners. Now the bro split is when you train a different muscle group each day. So one day you'll train your chest, back, shoulders, legs, etc. You just focus on that one muscle group for that one day. And there's lots of people that do the bro split, like competitive bodybuilders, and they get great results from it. Maybe you might go down to your local gym and see like the biggest dude there, the most shredded dude there, and he's like, yo, you need to do the bro split, it's the best one. But realistically, for a beginner, it's not optimal to do the bro split, and I'm going to tell you why. So the first problem with the bro split for a beginner is it just requires you to be in the gym too much. You need to be in the gym a minimum of 5 days to do the bro split, and for someone just starting off, that is just not necessary at all. I would recommend going for 3 or a maximum of 4 days in the gym if you're just starting off. Reason number 2, when you first start going to the gym, your muscles fatigue pretty quickly. This just means that they get sore. So if you're only training one muscle group for a full session, after the first exercise or second exercise in that muscle group, you're going to be fatigued, so your form is going to suffer and you're not going to be able to lift as heavy weights with the exercises later on in the session. So it's just not optimal to maximize muscle development. Reason number 3, studies show that in terms of muscle development, it's better to hit the muscle group more frequently throughout the week. You're looking to hit it about twice per week, but if you're doing the bro split, you're only going to be hitting each muscle group once per week, so that's like not good. And reason number 4, if you're a beginner, you're still going to be learning all the new movements. So if you do them more frequently, you're going to have a better time learning them basically. Like say for example, if you're trying to learn how to squat and you're only doing legs once a week, so you're only squatting once a week, it's going to be like a full week until you're doing it again. Like the muscle memory connection won't be there and you're just going to have a shit time. So doing it more frequently throughout the week is, you're just going to have better crack like. Okay, so now you know what not to do. I'm going to give you some guidelines so you can make up in your own head what you think. Make up in your own head, does that even make sense? So you can decide what works best for you. So what I'm going to recommend is that you're hitting each muscle group at least twice per week with 48 hours rest in between training the same muscle group. You train a maximum of 4 times a week and you enjoy your training. So that brings me on to option number 1, which is the 3-day full body split, and in my opinion this is literally the best split you can do if you're just someone new to the gym. Training 3 times a week and training every muscle group in each session gives you time to learn the new movements, get training frequency in, and have the 48 hours rest in between sessions, because you're only training 3 times a week. So you might do it on something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday or Tuesday, whatever, 3 days a week with 48 hours rest in between sessions and you're golden. Beginner lifters that go with the 3-day full body split not only get the most bang for their buck in terms of muscle development, muscle recovery, learning the movements and spending the least time in the gym, but they also get the least soreness, which is a pretty important factor in everyday life. So if you're only training one muscle group per session, you're like taking it to fatigue and you're walking around the next few days like really sore. Or have you ever done leg day? Can't talk. Have you ever done leg day and you literally can't walk for like 2 or 3 days? With the 3-day full body split, you're only training one muscle group per set. No, you're not doing that. You're training all your muscle groups per session, so you're only training 1 or 2 exercises per muscle group, so you're not bringing them to the point of fatigue, so you're not going to be really sore. You're going to be able to go about your daily life and still make gain. The second option for beginner lifters is what I would describe one for the more enthusiastic lifters. When you tell them you only need to start off going 3 times a week and they're like, no, I want to go 7, and you're like, right, you can go 4 if you do an upper lower split. So the upper lower split is basically exactly what it says in the tin. On the upper day you train your upper body, and on the lower day you train your lower body. It's that simple. With the upper lower split you're still getting your frequency in, so you're hitting each muscle group twice per week why can I not talk today? You're hitting each muscle group twice per week. You're getting your adequate 48 hours rest in between training the same muscle group, and you're still only spending 4 days in the gym, so it is a good approach for a beginner. Right, so now you know what training split you should do if you're a beginner. Well, not really what one you should do, but what one I think you should probably do, because everything is subjective and everyone has their own opinion, and I'm only giving you my own opinion here. And I'm going to continue to give you my own opinion in terms of what exercises or what way you should structure your exercises and the rep ranges, but then I'm going to give you some background as well as to why my opinion is not the only opinion, because there's loads of opinions. How many times am I going to say opinion? Anyway, the way I would structure your training is always start with a compound lift and then move to the less taxing lifts and then the least taxing lifts. So say for example you're doing a full body split, you might start with a squat, and then you might go on to incline dumbbell press, shoulder press. You might do reverse flies and finish off with a superset, isolating your biceps and your triceps. So you start with your most taxing compound lifts and then move to the least taxing, the less taxing, the less taxing. You get the point. In terms of rep ranges, I would stick to 1 to 6 reps for your compound lifts in order to build strength, and then work in the 8 to 12 reps for your sort of accessory work, and then right up to 20 reps for isolation. However, this is a completely subjective opinion, because there's many professionals, like people who have master's degrees. 2 people have master's degrees here. One person with a master's degree says you should only do 8 to 12 reps. This person says, oh, you should only do 1 to 5 reps. Technically, they're both right. Any way that you train, as long as it applies progressive overload, you will get results. So it doesn't matter massively with your rep range, but the way I approach it is I like to have a massive rep range. So I'll work for compounds 1 to 6, and I'll work right up to like 20 reps on isolation movements. In my opinion, it's just better to have a variety, but again, I'm saying that's my own personal opinion. There's loads of people that say loads of different things, but you're watching my video, so I'm going to give you my own opinion on that one. So to sum that up, start off on compound lifts 1 to 6 reps, then move on to accessory lifts. So anything that like is like an incline dumbbell press, chest cables, shoulder press, Bulgarian split squats, they're all accessory. I'm near sure that that is the correct term for them. That's what I've been told anyway. They're called accessory lifts or accessory work. Basically they're not quite an isolation, but they're not quite a compound either. So compound 1 to 6 reps, accessory 8 to 12 reps I would usually go with, and then isolation anywhere from 8 right up to 20 reps, and I would usually do supersets and stuff with isolation. But again, this is my own personal anecdote, so I'm just giving you my opinion, and there's lots of studies to back up lots of different rep ranges, but none of them are actually conclusive. So this is just the best way I think to train in my personal opinion. Right, so now I've basically discussed sort of the evidence based and give you a bit of my own opinion, but now I want to throw away these studies and talk about the most important thing, and that is sustainability and enjoyability. So I've said don't do the bro split, you should instead do a full body split or an upper lower split if you're a beginner. However, you have 2 beginners, one does the bro split and one does a full body split. But the person that does the bro split loves the bro split. They go to the gym every day and they're just bro splitting the complete life out of themselves. And the person that is doing the full body split wishes they were doing the bro split, but they watched like my video and they think, no, well, he said to do the full body split. So they're sort of not that into it. So they go to the gym most of the time, but on the days that they're not really feeling it, they're like, man, I want to do a full body session today. So they're not going to get good results as the person that's doing the bro split, because the person that's doing the bro split enjoys it and it's doing it consistently. So consistency is better than optimability, but obviously if you can do the optimal approach consistently, that's going to be better. So at the end of the day, do the training split that you enjoy the most, because if you enjoy it, then you're more likely to sustain it, you're more likely to get better results because you're consistently doing it. But if you can do the optimal one and do enjoy it, then do that. Hopefully that gives you a good idea on what way you should be training if you're a beginner. You now know that there's more optimal ways to train, but the most important thing is enjoyability and consistency. If you're a beginner and you literally have no idea where to start, you're like, right, I know I want to do a 3-day full body split, but how do I go about doing that? Follow me on Instagram and message me with the word workout, and I'll send you a free full day why can I not talk today? I will send you a free full day, three day full body split out of the kindness of my own heart, because I just like doing things for people that I wish were done for me when I was a beginner. So yeah, I'll send you a free workout program. Just follow me on Instagram and message me with the word workout, 3-day full body split. Got it out that time. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you learned something. If you did enjoy it, hit like, maybe subscribe, turn on post notifications if you're really feeling adventurous, and I'll see you in the next one.